Hey there everybody, how's it going? My name is Tham, welcome over to Final Fantasy XIV. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a particular topic. I do want to apologize for not live streaming as of recent. I've been under the weather, and I've had almost a breakdown and kind of a breakthrough at the same time with my life a little bit. So please do give me a little bit of time. I'll be back as soon as possible, and we'll be back to streaming as usual and doing 2 streams a day. But nevertheless, for today, I wanted to go ahead and leave y'all with something, at least something to have on the channel, and I want to be able to make commentaries again. The current gameplay I'm using right now is a recording from a stream that we did where we did a Lions run on Ivalice. Just don't worry about that. I know it looks like my mouth is moving there, but it's just directly from a stream. My hard drive is full to the brim. I have no more space to record right now, so I'm just recording this voice so I can render out the video and upload it, because I have so many projects that I'm working on right now and I can't make room on a hard drive at the moment, unfortunately. So much videos, so many projects for main channel, second channel coming up. Nevertheless, I apologize for no extra live recording, but in today's commentary, I would like to talk about a particular topic I found on Final Fantasy XIV Reddit. Why are people so obsessed with the meta? Now, before I begin the video, before you hit the dislike, I know some of y'all may want to just immediately hit a dislike for criticizing or even making comments about the meta. I have nothing against the meta. If you want to play by the meta, by whatever Final Fantasy XIV meta it is right now, as far as I understand, it's like Bard with Dragoon, but also like Paladin and Warrior for tanks, and then I think Scholar and Astro for heals, or White Mage and Astro for heals. I'm not sure. If you want to play by the meta in Final Fantasy XIV because you prefer it or because you think it's the most logical solution, by all means do it. I have nothing against the meta. I have nothing at all against the meta, just saying right now, so please keep your hands on the dislike button. If anything, that's all you wanted to see, that's all I want to hear, just leave a like, and we'll see you later. This particular commentary is going to be more about the people that play outside of the meta, that feel pressured by the people that play within the meta to play within the meta. And I gotta say, if you play outside the meta, that's completely fine, man. It's all good. I play outside the meta all the time. Now, I'm doing this consciously. I'm understanding that I'm missing out on all these benefits that come from running the meta. See, let's go ahead and answer a little bit about why people are so obsessed with the meta sometimes. See, some players out there, they simply don't know what they're doing. Maybe they're brand new, maybe they don't know how best to approach endgame, and they for the most part use meta as the main guidepost in order to reach endgame content and be able to clear it. Because why think about synergies that you can create when there are other people that already figured out, oh, okay, Dragoon goes really well with the Bard, and then we have Warrior that goes really well with Paladin, or even Double Paladin was kind of a partial meta there for a little bit in the beginning of Stormblood, and then this class goes well with that class, and then these 2 healers go well together, and then Black Mage is there for DPS, for magical DPS, and Samurai is there for physical DPS, and they're gonna be the glass cannon, so we gotta keep them alive. People figure out these synergies that work really well regarding jobs and combinations and different ways that they combine ways of putting together a team or a static. And the meta tries to consider all the role actions that are available for the entire party, making sure that you're not doubling down on unnecessary role actions, and have everything to try to counteract physical and magical damage, as well as to have all the appropriate debuffs in order to make sure that everybody performs really well. That's the structure of the meta, to make sure that you have the biggest toolkit available for you in utilities, in rewrite cooldowns, in abilities from different jobs that synergize really well together and just work really well together. That's what it tries to consider, to make sure you have the biggest toolkit for any possible situation, and obviously the meta can be adjusted depending on which boss you take on. Some bosses require one thing, while some other bosses require the other. You want to make sure that you have somebody providing mana for your healers when necessary. Want to make sure somebody applying all the slashing and piercing and other debuffs, and make sure you have people that are popping utilities to reduce the incoming tank busters or reduce incoming ultimate abilities that are coming from bosses. And a lot of players regard this as the ultimate guidepost in order to do more damage. And if you really think about it, the meta also kind of helps optimize and increase the overall damage that a party will do. The thing is the problem with the meta is almost like a blueprint, but it is not the answer to everything. There are a lot of parties out there that play by the meta, and no matter how hard they try, no matter how much, how much they try to make sure they stay within the meta, if a player lacks skill, then a player lacks skill. If a player does not know an optimal opener, or has really bad DPS overall in a fight, or doesn't know how to optimize the job best, or doesn't know how to play the job real well, and doesn't really realize the availability and accessibility of the toolkit, then it's going to be up to the player. Now, I'm not saying every single player out there is, but I've seen a lot of players that demand a meta to be filled, and yet they aren't able to fulfill their part of the bargain by making sure that they have the proper opener, the proper rotation, even a proper materia for the gear. I've seen a lot of, I've seen a lot of bards and melee DPS that really want to, I don't know why it's just bards, but it's like bards and then melee DPS that want to play by the meta, but then they're the ones that always stand in fire, always stand in mechanics, and end up dying to mechanics, and then complaining that we don't have the meta, even though they could have avoided mechanics and not get killed. So the white mage doesn't have to waste a swift cast to res them, instead of waiting and maybe using it another time for maybe like a Q or 3, I mean, even looking back at some of the replies that people have posted on the Reddit post, I guess you would call them the Redditors? The Redditors that replied have been stating that the meta and following the meta is only a key to success. It's not the end-all be-all regarding pug groups. So if you go in a pug group and somebody is requesting the meta, you better hope that they know how to play their job and everything, because I've been reading through this, and a lot of horror stories where they go into a pug, pugs proclaim that the meta is a doctrine, and unless people are playing not part of the meta, kick them out, and once they do get a meta going, they still can't get past a boss, and they just blame the meta or start blaming other players for not being part of the meta or not understanding the meta, when what could have just helped the party would be just some player skill and maybe some common sense. I'm not saying that every single player, I'm not personally saying, a lot of people in the reply, man, they're kind of savage, not gonna lie, but I personally think that as long as a player has common sense and is able to learn and understand how to play their job and how to work really well with other jobs and other players, I think they should have no problem clearing content, even outside the meta. Like I said, the meta is a blueprint, it's the recipe to the cake. To make the cake is difficult, it requires 7 other people with you working together to make this beautiful cake that is the raid clear. In order to make the cake, you kind of need some ability and skill to bake, I guess. Like, we've cleared parties before, no problem, where we ran like doubles of ninja, doubles of black mage, and we cleared, O1S, O2S, no problem. That's not even a big deal. We go through the fight, clear the whole thing, and it's not that big of a deal for us because we understand the mechanics. We know a best opener for the jobs that we play. We play the jobs that we feel most comfortable on because we have a lot of experience with those jobs, right? Like, I would never ask Captain, let's say for example my buddy Captain plays Warrior, I never have to worry about him playing as a Warrior because he just loves playing Warrior. He understands Warrior to the core and he knows how to optimize the capabilities of a Warrior. If anything, I would consider him as being one of the best Warriors I've ever seen. And same thing with my buddy Elise, who plays a Paladin. I never have to ever worry about him playing as a paladin or worry about whether the synergy of the meta is going to go well or poorly if I pair him up with another tank. Because I know Elise is going to be able to pull his weight, no problem. Captain is going to be able to pull his weight, no problem. So if I have double warrior, I don't have to worry about it because I know Captain got himself covered. I don't know about the other tank, unless I know that they can handle it, then I don't have to worry about it. But I'm pretty open to playing with whoever, really. See, for me, like, it's not about bringing in the job or bringing in the meta, it's about bring a player. If my buddy gets on, he playing something like a double of a black mage or something, I'd be like, come on, man, let's go, let's play together, let's clear some content. As long as everybody stays out of the fight, it should be no problem. And one of the biggest keys to showing that the meta is not a requirement and meta can be definitely broken are man mode. Man mode is one of the pinnacle of anti-meta. Man mode, if you haven't heard about it before, or never experienced it, or never seen it, is when parties gather together in almost like full 8 tank party or 7 tanks, 1 healer, depending on what the fight exactly needs from the group composition and everything, and they combine together the power and the skills as tanks to dominate a boss. I've seen videos of people clearing a Alex 12 Savage from I've seen videos and clips of people clearing Savage content, and honestly, part of me really wants to try to see if maybe we could put together a tank only run for some of the Omega Savage. I think that'd be really fun. I've seen a Susano run where they ran with 7 tanks and 1 healer, and man, is that just one of the most exciting things to see. It breaks apart the meta entirely and shows, hey, look at these tanks and that healer running together and doing this. They're doing this fight. Well, obviously Susano is not exactly the most extreme fight I've ever seen. It's not exactly the most complicated fight ever compared to some of the Savage fights I've seen. Obviously, it's gonna, it can definitely be doable with 7 tanks for sure, maybe even 8 tanks if you're really careful and you have Paladin healing like crazy with Clemency, perhaps every now and then. But for the most part, it's actually not that difficult to clear any content with almost any composition. Now obviously, not every composition. You can't just take 8 healers into a party or 8 DPS into a party and hope to clear any of the primals. I wouldn't never guarantee to do that. Tanks, sure, because tanks can, handle a pounding, they got defensive cooldowns, they can even dish out some decent DPS if players know how to play them. But the meta, I just want to say, the meta is not an end-all be-all for anything in Final Fantasy XIV. So, I mean, for players that want to play outside the meta, play outside the meta. It's not that big of a deal. As long as everybody in your party knows the mechanics and can dish out decent DPS and do the job correctly, then that's not a big a deal. Play whatever you want to play. Bring a player, bring a friend. Don't bring some guy named Joe just because he is a Dragoon. No matter how good or bad he is a Dragoon. If you really want to bring in, Eddie, your buddy Eddie, or your friend Christy, if you want to bring your friends, go for it. Bring your friends and play with your friends. Don't have to bring, what did I say, Joe the Dragoon? Yeah, Joe the Dragoon. Yeah, don't bring Joe the Dragoon just because he's a Dragoon. I mean, bring him if you want to, if you have extra room. Don't leave the guy, don't leave the guy high and dry and everything. Try to be welcoming to people. That's usually what I do. Like whenever I stream or whenever I make videos or just anything, if you just get into a group together, if it's like either a farm party or a clearing party just for fun, it's not a requirement for me to be part of like a perfect composition. Let's just get together and clear stuff. Why not? Yeah, we're gonna have a really difficult time if we don't have a bard or a machinist giving away mana, and if we don't have a red mage or a summoner or black mage giving away mana to heal us. Yeah, it's gonna be difficult. Yeah, sure, we're missing out on a lot of buffs, but it's whatever. It's not that big of a deal. It's gonna be a struggle. It's gonna be a struggle and a half, sure, and I understand playing outside of the meta is gonna be a struggle and a half. So if anything, if you're not going to be playing fully under the meta or don't want to feel like you're being suffocated under the meta, then the only thing I can guarantee you is just consider the meta for its theoretical purposes and treat it on a theoretical level, understanding, okay, good, so we got Samurai who has a slashing debuff that would definitely benefit really well with somebody like a warrior because slashing debuff helps them out, or Dragoon offers piercing debuff and battle litany to Bard and Dragoon will go really well together in that regard. In that sense, Summoner will go really well regarding continued damage support, or if you need somebody to provide some side healing and side reses, if anything, if it's like a really emergency situation, you can just bring in red mage and stuff like that. I don't know what's really meta right now. If I go to Google some metas right now, let me see what I can find here. I googled some of it. One of them being like, oh god, this was from 3 months ago. Paladin, Samurai Dragoon, Bard, Black Mage, Astro, and White Mage. Or another one here, another post from another forum post that I found. Paladin, Dragoon, Samurai, Ninja, Red Mage, Bard, Astro, and White Mage for progression kills, and Paladin, Paladin Dark Knight, Samurai, Ninja, Monk, Red Mage, Astro, and Scholar for speed kills. I don't know if that's a real meta or not, it's just something that I just found right there off on the side. So, that's about it. Nevertheless, if you want to play within the meta, play within the meta. That's perfectly fine, it's perfectly logical to play within the meta. If you want to play outside the meta with friends, or your FC members or whatever, yeah, go for it. It's doable. Probably won't give you the biggest advantage of the meta, but, it's doable. I mean, I can't tell you what you should play. You're the one paying $15 a month. I'm not paying a sub. Play whatever you want to play. You want to play with your friends with crazy combinations and crazy, your own personal meta, an unoptimized meta, then go for it. Play however you want to play. But I just want to let you know that playing outside the meta is perfectly fine. If you want to play outside the meta, there are other players out there that are also doing the same thing, and you can always find people to play with regarding metas and stuff, or outside of metas. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the commentary. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up right on here. Hopefully we'll be able to get some more commentaries out there for the channel, and I'll be back to streaming pretty soon, I promise you that. Nevertheless, I hope you enjoyed. My name is ThamReal. Like, subscribe, and as always, have a good day, and I'll see you all in the next video or whatever I make. See ya. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the metas in either Final Fantasy XIV or other MMOs, and I'll see you next video. Looking forward to your comments.